to the Blitz, another great week of high school football in the Arklatex. We're going to break down some of those great games right now. First with Evangel and Airline. You know, huge game, of course, Airline undefeated. And I think everyone knows how good Evangel is. They know how good Airline is. But again, the Parkway Evangel game, too. Nobody expected Evangel to manhandle them the way they did.
You called this last week.
Well, you know, Evangel's really good, and I've taken some heat on Twitter and that kind of thing for saying that I'm surprised at how good Evangel is. But Airline was good, and one of two area unbeatens tonight who lost for the first time. So, you know, just these guys, their defense is so strong, Evangel's, and they, I don't know. It was a weird game, though. They didn't score in the third quarter.
You know, I shot this game, and we know Airline has a great offensive line. They have two great running backs. They like to run up the middle a lot. But Evangel defense, like you're saying, stuff after stuff for negative yards here. You know, also the weather and everything. The ball was slipping out of hands and here and there. But, man, Evangel's defense.
Well, Evangel is known historically, you know, as having this wide-open offense, and they were doing it before it was cool, all right? But they've also put some outstanding defensive units on the field and in the dome over the years, and there are Evangel fans who are saying that this is the best defense they've ever had. That's a tall, you see?
I was going to say, Evangel, former Eagle here. Tyler, our producer, do you think it's the best defense they've had? We got a lot of Evangel alum here.
Their head coach anchored a pretty stout defense in his day.
Yeah, that 95 team with Bub Alexander, Ronnie Alexander's son. Yeah. Bub Alexander and Marco Coley, Cole Pittman, Byron Dawson.
Yeah, that was huge.
Those guys.
So
Congrats to Evangel.
Well, yeah, they won.
I'm just saying. I mean,
they lost their first game and they haven't been.
Well, and that was a game not against a team from Louisiana. Right. That was against a state power
up in Pennsylvania
from Philadelphia. Yeah, St. Joe's. That's a good football team.
So next, you know, we also had Houghton and Parkway, which was a good game as well. When we talked to Coach Ewan, he says his biggest problem with the team this year is they're pretty inconsistent. But Parkway also.
Well,
pretty good.
A little bit of a statement game for Parkway, I'd say, because Houghton's pretty good.
Exactly.
But, you know, Parkway won this one kind of handily.
Yeah, it was, what, 23-7 or something like that?
Yeah, and so, you know, and look at that. I mean, if you look around tonight, because of the weather and everything else going on, there's actually some legitimately empty stadiums. I mean, one side of Lee Hedges Stadium had like 6 people in it. But the Parkway crowd shows up. I mean, those people in South Bossier, they are stoked about their football.
Definitely.
Well, and it looks like they're the team right behind Evangel in that district as well.
We don't count out Airline yet.
Nope.
Yep.
We got Parkway next.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
Be a good game.
Going to come right down to it in that district.
And then probably the game of the night, really. If not Evangel, Airline has got to be the Benton with
weather, hostile conditions on the road. It went right down to the final minute. In fact, they had the ball in the closing seconds. You know, Woodlawn's good, but as you pointed out, Camity, Benton just seems to rise to the occasion.
They always seem to answer. Yeah. They always have an answer. It doesn't matter what. They can score. Give them 30 seconds. They can score. They'll find a way.
Garrett Habel's having a really good season as well. I mean, he's leading the area in passing. That offense moves the ball really well. And the defense, although it's not last year's defense that was so stout for Benton, their defense is still pretty good.
Well, they're the clear front runner in that 4A district now. So, you know, we thought for a few minutes there in the fourth quarter that Woodlawn was really going to shake things up.
Well, that would have made it. That would have really shaken things up. That would have been like last year. We'd have been looking at a 3-way, 4-way, 5-way tie.
Yeah. That really was a fun game to watch.
Let's really quickly. We're running out of time here, but really quickly we'll get to East Texas also. Marshall undefeated until tonight. Unfortunately, they were at Texas.
Well, last week, right before half, their 4-year starter at quarterback went down with a knee injury. He's out for the season. So they had to turn to a junior, Cameron Holler, who's a great athlete and is being recruited by everyone. But when you got a 4-year starter and he's going, in high school, he's going through 3-4 progressions. There's a big difference between that and a really good athlete who's a pretty good quarterback, and that's kind of what hit them.
At every level of football, if you have a really good quarterback, that is the difference maker. That is just known by anybody who follows football. Just ask the Dallas Cowboys.
Right, Brandon Whedon.
And really quickly, we mentioned the weather dampering some people. That's Wascom there. Speaking of weather dampering things, that game was delayed. Kept getting delayed, and we actually had a couple that were moved to tomorrow. Elysian Fields in Frankston and Gilmer.
Gilmer and Bullard is at 4 o'clock. Elysian Fields Frankston's
at 2. So you still can go see them if you want.
And quickly, Wascom stays unbeaten. They beat an unbeaten West Rusk. They may be making another run at the Dome. They haven't lost since week 1 last year against Center.
Impressive.
That's all the time we've got. Same time, same place next week. We'll be here. You should be too.